$3,000 gone in one night. A family savings account emptied by a 9-year-old's thumbprint. His older brother found the charges first. What he did next tore their family apart worse than the money ever could. Marcus Rojas was 11. He was the kind of kid who reminded teachers of a much older person. Not because he was serious, but because he noticed things. He noticed when his mom skipped her own dinner so he and his brother could eat more. He noticed that his dad wore the same 3 shirts on rotation, Monday through Friday. He noticed that every time the washing machine made that rattling sound, his parents exchanged a look that meant, "We can't fix it yet." The Rojas family lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment. Mom worked mornings at a dry cleaner and evenings at a gas station. Dad drove deliveries, long routes, sometimes overnight. They weren't poor in the way that makes headlines, but in the quiet way that means every dollar has a name before it arrives. Marcus shared a bedroom with his younger brother Dylan. Dylan was 9. Where Marcus absorbed the world silently, Dylan crashed into it head first. He was loud, impulsive, always laughing at his own jokes before finishing them. He was the kid in class who answered every question, even when the teacher hadn't asked one yet. Dylan had one obsession: Roblox. He played it every single day after school, sometimes before school if he woke up early enough. His favorite game was a tycoon simulator where you could build mansions, buy luxury cars, and fill your virtual garage with things that cost more Robux than most kids ever owned. Dylan talked about Robux the way other kids talked about candy, constantly, desperately, with a longing that never quite went away. Marcus played Roblox too, but differently. He liked building games, puzzle maps, obstacle courses. For him, the game was something to do. For Dylan, the game was everything. Their parents had a rule: no spending real money on games. Ever. Mom had explained it once, sitting both boys down at the kitchen table. She told them that the family had a savings account. It wasn't much, just over $4,000, but it was there for emergencies. If the car broke down, if someone got sick, if the rent went up, that money was their safety net, and it had taken almost 2 years to save. Dylan nodded like he understood. Marcus actually did. It started with Dylan watching videos. Creators on social media showing off their Roblox inventories, limiteds worth thousands, avatars dripping with accessories that cost more than real clothing. Dylan watched these videos obsessively, sometimes replaying the same unboxing 3 or 4 times, studying each item, memorizing prices. At school, things got worse. His classmates started flexing their avatars during breaks, comparing who had the rarest items, laughing at anyone still wearing default skins. Dylan was one of those kids. He came home one afternoon and didn't say a word to anyone. He went straight to the bedroom, closed the door, and stared at his basic avatar for a long time. Dylan made a decision that night. A decision so quiet that nobody heard it, but one that would echo through his family for months. Their mom used a tablet for everything: paying bills, checking her work schedule, ordering groceries. Her payment method was saved. Her fingerprint unlocked the device. But here's the thing about fingerprints on a shared family tablet. The device doesn't care whose finger is pressing. It only cares that a fingerprint was registered. And when Dylan set up the tablet months ago, helping his mom figure out the settings, his thumbprint got added too. He had forgotten about it. Until now. That night, after everyone fell asleep, Dylan took the tablet from the kitchen counter, carried it to his bed, and pulled the blanket over his head. The screen glowed blue under the fabric. He opened the Roblox app, navigated to the store, and bought his first Robux package. $25. His heart was hammering so hard, he was sure Marcus could hear it from the other bed. But Marcus was asleep. The confirmation came through silently. No alarm, no pop-up, no parent notification. Just a quiet email receipt that went to his mom's inbox, buried under dozens of work messages and spam. $25 became $50. $50 became $100. Dylan told himself he would stop, but the feeling was too strong. Each purchase made him feel like he was finally catching up, finally becoming someone in the game. He bought limiteds, he bought game passes, he bought cosmetics he didn't even want, just because the purchase itself felt good. Over the next 6 nights, Dylan repeated the same ritual. Wait for everyone to sleep. Take the tablet, buy Robux, return the tablet, go to sleep. By the 7th night, he had spent $3,147. Marcus found out first. It was a Saturday morning. Mom had left her phone on the kitchen table while she made breakfast, and it buzzed with a notification. Marcus glanced at it, not snooping, just reflexively looking at the screen. The notification was from their bank. Your account balance is below $200. Would you like to set up overdraft protection? Marcus stared at the number. Below 200. The account that was supposed to have over $4,000 in it. He didn't say anything to his mom. Not yet. Instead, he waited until she went to work and opened the tablet. He went to the email inbox, searching for Roblox. What came back was a wall of receipts, transaction after transaction after transaction, all between midnight and 3 in the morning, all from the Roblox app, all charged to his mom's debit card. Marcus sat on the kitchen floor with the tablet on his knees and read every single receipt. By the time he finished, his hands were shaking, not from fear, from something he had never felt toward his little brother before. He walked into their bedroom where Dylan was playing Roblox on his phone, wearing headphones, completely unaware. Marcus stood in the doorway for a long time. Then he said one word. Dylan's name. Dylan looked up and saw his brother's face. The headphones came off slowly. "Show me your inventory," Marcus said. Dylan's avatar was unrecognizable. Golden wings, animated effects, rare limiteds stacked on top of each other. It looked like the avatars in those videos he watched, the ones that belonged to adults with jobs and disposable income. Except this one was purchased with his family's emergency savings. Dylan started crying before Marcus said anything else. He already knew. "That was Mom's money," Marcus said. His voice was flat, controlled, but something underneath it was cracking. "That was everything we had. What happened next is the part that made this story more than just a kid spending money on a game. Marcus didn't tell their parents. Not that day, not the next day. Instead, he made Dylan a deal. They would try to reverse the charges themselves. They would contact Roblox support, explain the situation, get the money back before Mom ever checked the account. It was the weekend. Mom usually checked finances on Mondays. They had roughly 36 hours. Marcus spent the entire Saturday researching how Roblox refunds work. He read forums, watched tutorials, drafted a support ticket using the most mature language he could manage. He even wrote a paragraph pretending to be his mother. Dylan sat next to him, silent, red-eyed, doing whatever Marcus told him to do. The response came Sunday afternoon, automated. A form letter explaining that purchases made with a registered payment method through an authenticated device are considered authorized transactions. Refund denied. Marcus read the email 3 times. Then he closed the tablet and didn't speak for an hour. When he finally looked at Dylan, what came out wasn't compassion or brotherhood. It was blame. Hot, sharp, unfiltered. "You ruined us," Marcus said. "Do you understand that? You ruined everything." Dylan tried to explain. The pressure at school, the videos, how it started small, how he couldn't stop, but Marcus wasn't listening. Every word Dylan said sounded like an excuse, and Marcus was too angry to hear anything else. That Sunday night, lying in their shared bedroom, the 2 brothers who had slept 3 feet apart their entire lives felt like they were on different planets. And the hardest part, the part that would scar both of them, hadn't even happened yet. Monday morning. Mom checked her bank app during her break at the dry cleaner. She called Dad first, then she called the bank. Then she came home in the middle of her shift, something she had never done. When the boys got home from school, both parents were sitting at the kitchen table. The tablet was in the center, screen showing the Roblox receipts. Mom's eyes were red. Dad's jaw was set in a way Marcus had never seen before. "Who did this?" Dad asked. Dylan couldn't speak. Marcus looked at his brother, and in that fraction of a second, he made a choice. He said, "We both did." He didn't know why he said it. Maybe because he felt responsible. He was the older brother. He should have noticed. Maybe because watching Dylan take the full weight of this alone felt worse than sharing it. Maybe because in that moment, standing in front of their broken parents, protecting Dylan felt more important than being right. Dad didn't yell. That was almost worse. He spoke quietly. He explained that the car insurance payment was due in 3 days, that the rent increase they'd been dreading had just been confirmed, that Mom had been considering picking up a third job. He explained these things to his sons the way you explain gravity, as facts that simply exist and cannot be argued with. Mom said one sentence. "I skipped meals so you could eat, and you spent it on a game." Dylan threw up. Right there at the kitchen table. His body simply couldn't hold the guilt anymore. The next 3 weeks were the worst the Rojas family had experienced. They borrowed money from relatives. Mom did pick up that third job. Weekend shifts at a restaurant, coming home smelling like grease at midnight. Dad took extra routes, sometimes not coming home at all. The apartment got quieter. Dinners got smaller. Marcus and Dylan didn't play Roblox. The tablet was gone. Their phones had every app store blocked. But the real punishment wasn't the restrictions. It was the silence between them. Marcus wouldn't look at Dylan. When Dylan tried to talk, Marcus left the room. Dylan started sleeping with his back to Marcus, facing the wall. Some nights, Marcus could hear him crying into his pillow. He wanted to say something. He didn't. It took 2 months before Marcus spoke to Dylan voluntarily. It happened on a Thursday after school. Dylan was sitting on his bed, drawing something in a notebook. Marcus glanced at it from the doorway. It was a Roblox character, not one of the flashy ones with golden wings. It was a basic avatar, the default skin. Underneath it, Dylan had written in messy handwriting. This one was enough. Marcus sat on the edge of his brother's bed. He didn't say anything big. He just said, "Want to go outside?" They walked to the park at the end of their street. They didn't talk about Roblox or money or what happened. They kicked a soccer ball back and forth until it got dark. The Rojas family recovered the money slowly. It took over 4 months of extra shifts, borrowed lunches, and skipped comforts. Dad said once, when he thought no one was listening, "We'll be fine, we always are." But Marcus heard it, and he heard how hard his father was trying to believe his own words. Dylan never spent $1 on Roblox again. Marcus eventually forgave him. Not in one moment, but in small pieces, over time. The way trust actually works when it's real. The savings account eventually climbed back above 1,000, then 2,000, then past where it was before. But what didn't come back the same way was the lightness in that apartment. The ease. The feeling that nothing could really go wrong because they had each other. Some things cost more than money. Marcus still checks the bank notifications on his mom's phone, every Saturday morning before anyone else wakes up. He never told her. If your younger brother or sister asked you for your parents' password right now, would you give it to them? Tell me in the comments. I'll heart the most honest answer. Hey, that one was a tough story to tell, but I think it's important because it happens way more often than people talk about. If this video helped you think twice, drop a like. Subscribe if you want more stories like this, and go watch this video next. It's another case that still keeps me up at night. See you there.